While they've had more than their fair share of success on the road, there is no place quite like home. How's everybody doing? I'm Jay Elsen, and this is Coyote Corner. After playing 5 of their first 7 Summit League games on the road, Craig Smith's team was looking forward to their first extended stay in Vermilion. The Coyotes, who won 3 of those 5 road games, are slated to play 7 of their last 10 at the Dakota Dome. That stretch started Thursday night against Fort Wayne. Yotes, who took round 1 in Fort Wayne on January 10th with a chance to complete their first ever season sweep of the Dons. Things got off to a decent start. Off the turnover, Tyler Larson wins the race to the rim. That gave USD its biggest lead of the half at 18-13. Fort Wayne big man Steve Forbes was huge in that first meeting, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. Dons went to him early and often, and all he did was give him 13 first half points on 6 of 6 shooting. Fort Wayne up 33-24 at the break. Coyote big man James Hunter battled foul trouble in that first half, but he went to work in the second. Takes this one right at Forbes for 2, and a couple of trips later, Casey Kasperbauer finds him all alone. Hunter scored 10 of his team-high 14 in the second half. Brandon Boss struggled from the floor for much of the night, but he gets the runner here for the first of 5 straight points. That helped the Coyotes cut the deficit to 6. The USD just couldn't find a way to slow down Forbes. He went for a game-high 21, and Fort Wayne avoids the sweep 66-55. The story started inside for the Dons. They scored 40 of their points in the paint and shot 53% for the game. Craig Smith and the Coyotes look to bounce back Saturday against Oral Roberts. USD wanted to be more aggressive on the offensive end, and Eric Robertson shows that here. Attacks for 2 of his 10 points. Coyotes up 43-33 early in the second half. South Dakota sniper Casey Kasperbauer had hit just 1 of his last 10 beyond the arc coming in, but he busted out of that slump. That's the first of 3 second-half trays. Kasperbauer scored 16. Coyotes led by as many as 11, but here comes ORU. The Golden Eagles started to take control on the glass. Albert Owens gets the putback to cut the deficit to 4. And the visitors continued the charge from there. Obi Amegano in transition. He led all scores with 24. ORU would take its first lead of the day with 2:34 to go. USD would answer. Great take by Brandon Boss. He had 16, and the Coyotes are back in front 70-69. They're still up 1 with under 30 seconds to go. Donnell Henderson draws the blocking call on Robertson. Take another look. Smith really didn't like it, but it didn't matter. Henderson would hit both free throws to give ORU a 73-72 lead. Fast forward to the final 8 seconds. Tyler Larson gets all the way to the rim, but the layup won't go. Oral Roberts, who led for a total of 1 minute 53 seconds, steals one in Vermilion, 73-72. Second chance points and 11 missed free throws come back to haunt the Coyotes in this one as they drop their 3rd straight game in heartbreaking fashion.
In league play, every game just means that much more. So when you're ahead the whole game in such an important game like this, especially when we've lost 2 in a row and we really need to get a win to get ourselves back on track, this one definitely stings. Anytime you lose by 1, it's going to hit you pretty hard, and this one definitely did.
Certainly one of the tougher losses USD has had to stomach this season, and we're going to get Craig Smith's take on it when we come back.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionauto.com.
The USD men tipped off a 3-game homestand against Fort Wayne on Thursday. Here to talk about that and the rest of the weekend is head coach Craig Smith. And Craig, considering what happened in Fort Wayne the first time around against this team, you had to know Steve Forbes was going to be a big part of the game plan for them, and they went to him early and often.
Yeah, he was 11 for 13 at their place, 8 for 10, at our place, and they went at him early. He certainly was the focal point in the center of their game plan, and we knew that, and we were prepared for it. He certainly hurt us inside. Early on in the game, though, he did a great job of just kicking it out, and I thought their guards really got downhill on us, driving our closeouts. And so we had to make some adjustments with our double scheme, and then Forbes started hurting us more.
Your big guy was pretty effective as well. James Hunter had 14 points. 10 of those came in the second half. But He picked up 2 fouls early, and so you can't help but wonder maybe a little bit what might have been had he been able to stay on the floor a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was the turning point of the game when James got his second foul, and it was just, he wasn't getting his work done early, and it was kind of a mindless foul, but an easy call for the officials, and that was about at the 7-minute mark, and from that point on to end the first half, they got their run and went into halftime with a good solid lead.
You always say, love the rim, like the three, but it felt a little bit like it was the other way around on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It was. We were 3 for 19 from the three, and we're a good team when we can get the ball inside to James. James is starting to play a lot better, and when we drive to the rim, driving closeouts, pass, attack. But when we just settle in and stand around and really don't move without the ball, and then just settle in for threes, we're not going to be very good. That's just not our MO. And, we watched a lot of film on Friday, and I thought we played a lot better offensively on Saturday.
Oh, you talked, I'm sure a big part of that message was get aggressive, be aggressive. And from the start against Oral Roberts on Saturday, it was clear. Everybody was going to the rim, and you were having some success in that regard. Yeah,
against IPFW, we only shot 8 free throws. I mean, we're playing at home. And Fort Wayne shoots twice as many free throws as us, and that can't happen. And so I felt like we were way more aggressive offensively. We added a couple new things that I think helped us with our flow. And we give a lot of responsibility to our players. With the style of play that we play, we give our guys a lot of decisions to make. We get our guys to really grow and develop as players. And so we say motion's a way of life. And our guys were, I think, disgruntled. We watched some Spurs things on Friday in practice like we had earlier in the year, and our guys just did a way better job of being in attack mode.
Yeah, they shot it well because they got a lot of high percentage looks. They got to the free throw line, helped you build a 10-point halftime lead. You're up 11 around the midway point of the second half, and things started to change a little bit. Oral Roberts threw a little press at you, and that gave you some headaches. They also started to command the glass and got a lot of second chances.
They did. They really started getting downhill. We will go up 11. Tyler Larson gets an and one in transition. In the possession before, I think Casey made a 3. And we're up 11. And we were just getting in foul trouble. Every time they would just put their head down and drive, we really struggled guarding the ball. Trey Burnett picks up his 4th foul. And so we had to go some zone and just felt like we got to make them beat us from the outside. The problem when you go zone is the biggest weakness of a zone is rebounding. Mm-hmm. And we were playing small ball anyway. And so they just started beasting us on the glass. And they shoot 50% in the second half and really got after the offensive boards. They got 40% of their missed shots, which is an incredibly high number.
It'd be easy to get deflated losing an 11-point lead the way that you did, but your guys battled throughout and ended up taking the lead late, showed some character and continued to fight. Overall, just kind of your assessment of that last minute or so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild last 7-8 minutes. We still had many opportunities. We missed, we go 22 for 33 from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. And Trey Norris misses 2 front ends, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. We were up 3 in the second half when he misses the front end. That would have put us up 5, right, if he makes them both. But he misses, and then they come down and score. E-Rob misses back-to-back free throws, but then gets fouled late, makes them both, right. So we go up 1. And then at the end, it is what it is. I think it was pretty self-explanatory if you watch the video. But you know what? We shouldn't have got to that position.
So you take the tough loss there, and now you wrap up this quick 3-game homestand Thursday night against Western Illinois. Is this a must-win with 3 on the road to follow?
We need a win. I don't think anything's a must-win until you're in postseason play. Now, do we need to get a win? Yes. But, we're going through a tough stretch right now. Obviously, it's a disappointing week when you feel like you can really surge up the standings with 2 home games. And so we're going to find out where we're at. I always say tough times don't last, tough people do. Mm-hmm. And we're going to find how tough we are. We're going to find out how resilient we are. Coming back from a game that we felt like we really dominated and had no business losing. So we're going to find out the character of our guys and what we're made of that way.
All right, well, good luck to you. We'll see you Thursday.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
all right.
Jay.
After getting shut down in Indianapolis, the USD women bounced back in a big way. We'll show you the highlights next.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
The Coyote women hit a roadblock in Indianapolis last week with 33% shooting and 21 turnovers, leading to a season-low 43 points and a loss at IUPUI. Wednesday, USD hope to get back to their high-scoring ways against Denver. First meeting between the Coyotes and Pioneers since last year's Summit League tournament final. Denver didn't miss much early on. Alicia Espinoza off the inbound. Good night for her. Espinoza doubled her season average with 12 points. The Pioneers' real strength is on the perimeter. USD did a good job defending that, but Paige Bradley takes advantage of one of the few open looks she got. Bradley finished with 14. USD trailed by 4 with 4.5 to play in the half, but they close it out strong. Kelly Stewart caps an 11-2 run. 42-37 Coyotes at the break. And they picked up right where they left off in the second. Rachelle Contreras for 3. That's her second of the night, and the lead is 6. Contreras can also get to the rim. Here she is with the shot clock winding down. She scored 12 points on the night. Amy Williams liked that, and she would really like this. Take a look at the move by Nicole Seekamp. Splits the D for 2. South Dakota outscores Denver 40-19 in the second half and runs away for an 82-56 win. After shooting 53% in the first half, the Pioneers hit just 5 of 27 shots in the second. The Coyotes, meanwhile, cleaned up inside. They grabbed 20 offensive rebounds, which led to 22 second-chance points. Fast forward to Saturday, Amy Williams and company look to avenge one of their 2 Summit League losses against Oral Roberts. Contreras clearly ready to play. Much like Wednesday, the senior did a little of everything. She scored 8 of the Coyotes' first 10 points and finished with 19. Vicky McIntyre scored 19 against the Coyotes in Tulsa, and she got off to a good start again. Drains the jumper here to put the Golden Eagles up 1. Kate Liveringhouse wasn't intimidated. The freshman goes up and over the 6'7" McIntyre on consecutive possessions. She'd go on to score a career-high 21. Coyotes led by 18 at the half, but McIntyre would do her best to make things interesting in the second. She goes for 32 points, 17 rebounds, her 16th double-double in 22 games. After ORU cut the lead to 11, Williams told her team to get their foot back on the gas, and they did. Out of the timeout, Taya Heemiller buries the tray, and the floodgates flew open from there. USD rolls past ORU 93-70. The Coyotes shot 50% and hit 9 threes on the day. They also got some big-time production off the bench. USD's reserves outscored Oral Roberts 46-9.
It's nice to be able to give the team a spark and be able to relieve those players that do need the help, and especially recently, it's been good for us to have people off the bench being able to, and it's just really fun.
We were so ready for this game, As soon as we left there, we were in the locker room, we had this marked on our calendar, and I think we just came out ready, and, we just wanted to throw the first punch.
That weekend was everything USD was hoping for. Find out what Amy Williams had to say about her team's performance right after this.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
Well, it was an impressive weekend for the USD women, and here to talk more about that is head coach Amy Williams. Amy, given what had happened the previous Saturday in Indianapolis, how important was it to come back and have a big bounce back night against Denver?
Well, it's really important, and I think any time that you have such a bad loss like we did last week at Indianapolis, to be able to come back from that and play confidently and come back and especially protect your home court is really, really important. And so I was glad to see the way our kids handled that and were resilient and kind of bounced back and played pretty well this last weekend.
I thought the game plan was very apparent early on against Denver. And you saw firsthand last year how this team, when they get hot outside, how badly they can hurt you. And so it was pretty clear to me that you weren't going to give them a lot of room to work on the perimeter, and they didn't get a lot of opportunities, and I thought your girls executed that part of your game plan very well.
Yes, I mean, I'm proud of the way that we really bought into that game plan and tried to limit their looks from the outside and protect that three-point line. That was good. It's easier said than done. I mean, you can make that your game plan, but they're still very good about finding crafty, creative ways to be able to get their great perimeter players shots from the perimeter. So it was a tough task at hand, but I think our girls knew that if we wanted to win at home and beat that team, we really needed to get a handle on their perimeter shooters.
Yeah, overall, they actually shot it pretty well in the first half, but only got 5 attempts from outside, which is a pretty low number by their standards. And you took a 5-point lead into the half, but in the second half, it was all Coyotes. Was this about as well as you had played over a 20-minute stretch at any point this season?
I don't know if I would say that. I think, we're starting to stretch together, longer periods and a few minutes here or there, but I think we're still lulls at certain times and capable of putting together better halves, and at certain times, our team will play really good for a 20-minute segment, but it's time for us to start putting together 40 minutes.
You outscore them 40-19 in the second half. They make just 5 of 27 shots, 0 of 7 behind the three, 82-56 the final result there. And then Oral Roberts comes to the Dome on Saturday, and I thought your players made it very clear after the win against the Pioneers that they were ready for this one. They wanted another shot at Oral Roberts. Didn't feel like they gave them their best effort down in Tulsa a couple of weeks ago.
Right. I mean, that was a really tough loss for us, and we didn't play particularly well. But contrary to that, Oral Roberts really played well at home. They had players that stepped up and made big plays, and I think it's kind of evidence. They're, I think, 9-1 at home now, and really do a good job down there. And I think the girls, though, we talked before that game about they did not get our best shot, and we wanted to try to kind of redeem ourselves from that and have a better effort the next time around with them, and we certainly did that, at least offensively.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles, of course, feature a very top-notch player in Vicky McIntyre, 6'7" center. She's a transfer from Florida. She had a good game against you last time, 19 points, 14 rebounds, but she was even better on Saturday. She is awfully tough to handle.
She is tough to handle, and we kind of made some decisions about switching some things up defensively. I thought that we were kind of a little out of sync down there at their place when we were really throwing consistent double teams at her. We just couldn't get back to the rest of their players to box out and rebound, and had a couple other kids that had really big nights to go along with Vicky. So we kind of changed our approach a little bit and worked. We certainly didn't want to let her go for 32, but certainly thought that if we could try to keep everybody else kind of at bay, that we'd give ourselves a better chance, and that's what happened for us.
You got some pretty impressive production out of the post yourself, but it came from maybe not the source that most people would expect on a given night. Margaret McLeod is the starter and has performed very well all season. Freshman Kate Liveringhouse, career high 21 points, and she was going right at McIntyre all night.
She sure was, and I just was, really proud of Kate. She has a skill set that kind of allows her to be successful against size, and she played not scared and went in there really aggressively and attacked and went at her, and I thought that was impressive to see. Bridget Arns also at times, really attacked off the basket and really kind of were able to take it at them a little. I think, our team felt as a whole that we played a little scared at their place and scared to attack, and that was a big focus for us, is to continue to attack and go at them and make her have to work to defend us. And I think, Kate and Bridget and Margaret all, did an excellent job of making her have to work on the defensive end, and that always helps.
With the win there, you go to 10-0 at home. You wrap up a 3-game homestand on Friday night against Fort Wayne. Obviously, this one just a couple of weeks ago, these Mastodons are fresh in your mind. 73-72 win down there. Haley Seibert, though, you're going to have to find a way to slow her down a little bit more.
Yes, I mean, back to the drawing board, trying to figure out a way to better contain her, and she's a very special player and is capable on any given night of giving big production. So we're going to have a good team plan to slow her down and to be better defensively.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, well, stay tuned. We'll show you where both USD Hoops teams are sitting in the Summit League standings. Take one last look at the week ahead We'll be right back.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
And welcome back. Well, through 9 games, the USD men find themselves smack dab in the middle of the Summit League standings. The Coyotes may be mired in a slump, but they're still tied for the 5th spot with Fort Wayne. Everybody's chasing South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits, who pushed their winning streak to 8 games over the weekend, are now 8-2. They're a half game clear of North Dakota State. USD will try and end its 3-game slide Thursday night against Western Illinois, a game that will air live here on Midco SN. The Coyotes' last win came against the Leathernecks, 68-58 in Macomb on January 22nd. Saturday afternoon brings round 2 with North Dakota State. The Coyotes got their first win over NDSU since 2004 last month in Vermilion, but they have really struggled to find success in Fargo. USD 0 for 3 on the Bison's home floor since joining the Summit League, with all of those losses coming by at least 19 points. Well, fresh off the impressive weekend sweep, the Coyote women are looking very much like a first-place team. At 7-2, the Coyotes lead both South Dakota State and Western Illinois by a game. IUPUI and North Dakota State are each 2 games off the pace. USD will look to protect that lead against Fort Wayne. The Coyotes, who edged the Mastodons 73-72 a couple of weeks ago, are 3-0 all-time against IPFW in Vermilion. Coverage tips off at 7 p.m. on Midco SN. From there, it's on to Fargo and North Dakota State. After starting 3-0 in the conference, the Bison have now lost 4 of their last 6, including an 84-69 decision in Vermilion. The rematch is scheduled for 2 p.m. Sunday. So another busy weekend for USD Hoops, also an important weekend, and we'll be back here to break it all down for you next Tuesday night on another episode of Coyote Corner. Until then, I'm Jay Elsen. Thanks for watching.